Hello survivors, and welcome to another video. In today's video, we are back on the Myrmidon. She is insanely strong. As you can see, we are on Overlord 9 at 22 minutes. Actually, we finished Overlord 9 at 22 minutes. This is the build over here. It's thanks to Ejell and Misa in the Discord. They came up with a whole lot of crazy things. I've got my own build that I got up to Overlord 14 with, which is actually a record, so we're going to try and beat that today with their build and see if we're able to. We are using her third weapon, which provides us with the Gillican Servant's Dazed artifact power, and also gives us the Murlocks, which are going to provide us with even more purity for healing. I think it was purity, so that's going to help us a lot there as well. So for the skills we're using are going to be Whirling Defense, Blades of Light, Glacial Affinity, Arctic Assault, Sharp Spear, Earthquake, and a Heart-Rending Strike. She doesn't have access to five of these skills, sorry. So we do have to use every single versatility rune slot to get the skills. That's going to be Skill Mastery Slam, Skill Mastery Ice, and Skill Mastery Swing. And then we run Synergetic, Improved Repertory, War Tank, and Quality Standards. Once you have all the skills, you are going to be in a much better spot. But as you can see, we've got a whole whack of different upgrades over here. A lot of it is going to be the synergetic skills, a lot of it's skill chain. We've got a couple of expansives. This was actually just one rare, epic quality one that we picked up. And then there's a whole bunch of damage, disarray, slow as well for the glacial affinity as well, along with a lot of potency upgrades for it. So a lot going in over here. What we do is we look at our buff bar. If we see a buff going over 1000, then we stop taking that specific buff, because the hard cap is 1000 stacks, and if you go over that, it doesn't really do anything for the build. So unfortunately, our resilience is like 2500, and it's always going to be like that. You can already see that our resilience is sitting on 1700 now. Going up there, it is 2200. So our armor is already sitting on about 84%. And once we get our ascension, which we just did, no, we didn't pick it up. We're a bit too fast to pick it up. There we go. We picked it up now. So we just got our ascension, and then our armor goes up to 88%. So we do need to actually work on a bit of the armor that is very, very low. But you can just see how quickly, even at Overlord 10, we just wreck the boss's faces. Again, looking at all the buffs, we've got way more than enough prowess. We've got more than enough resilience. Form, haste are all maxed. The only ones we're looking for are going to be finesse and bulwark. So haste to finesse, finesse to bulwark, and then some aptitude as well that isn't maxed out either. So those are the only buffs that we need. Any other buff that we see we'll just ignore, because I don't think I have enough banishes to kind of look at getting rid of all of them. But just so you know how you know that you've got enough of the buffs stacked up and things like that. The build itself, because it's not really using a lot of projectiles, is really, really comfortable on the system. The devs have been working so well at trying to get, skills optimized and so on and so forth. It's not a quick fix. That's a lot of core things that need to be looked at to make optimizations for the game without completely breaking it or nerfing everything. So we have to be a little bit patient with optimization and making the game run a bit smoother, but it's a slow process, and it's really coming out really well. It started off with like Storm of Arrows instantly proccing its entire shot, so it's more like a shotgun than what it used to be. But those are the kind of things. So over here, we don't need the expansive anymore. We're going to grab Leviathans. Damage for Earthquake is a priority over anything else, so as soon as we see that, we grab it. And then skill cooldown, cast frequency, we don't need the form to haste, so we take the damage. Multicast is beautiful as well. And then we can start looking at getting even more crit for items. The way that it works is, even if we have 1000 form stacks, we can still get another 1,000 stacks on, you know, the actual skill, and another 1,000 stacks on just normal crit chance or dazed stacks even, if we could. But unfortunately the Gillikin servants don't actually do that much dazed, but they do more dazed to a unit than what we would have without them. So very good for the beginning of the game, the Gillikin servants. But once you get to Overlord, because they are minions in a sense, they do die pretty quickly, and therefore they don't apply enough dazed. You can see we've got like 10 stacks of dazed on the enemies there before they actually die the bosses. So not really good applicators of dazed. Maybe the devs could look at finding a way to maybe get them to apply a little bit more, but then that might even give us too much power as well. But yeah, I couldn't really see how much dazed was on there. Also, by the way, we're not using Earth Shield, and you can see that we are still completely, absolutely destroying everything at Overlord 11 over here, and the game is running still really, really smoothly for us without any issues as well. So really, really, really strong build. Actually, if we take a look there, 2,200 damage increase over there from the Prowess and Glacial Affinity stacking. Really, really strong. Got to make sure we pick up our Trident for the armor bonus as well. There is actually a passive for the Trident, which you do want to pick up. It actually increases your critical damage. So the top part over there, the plus 26% critical damage, can be scaled. You can get that up to even higher, to something like whatever amount you can get, actually, just so that you get that whole lot more. Haste to Finesse, beautiful. The damage on Earthquake as well. I think the only problem that this build has is that when you're standing in puddles, so the negative effect puddles, you take way too much damage. There's no way to block all of that negative effect, and therefore it hurts you quite a lot. So that's the only issue this build has. But other than that, the survivability just from purity alone is enough to keep you alive. Obviously, you can just die if you want to, just by standing still. But here we go, 25 minutes to Overlord Cycle 12. That is completely, you know, just disgusting. There we get hit quite hard because we don't have our passive up and we weren't stacking any armor. Like a bit of a silly person. We didn't really stack defenses. Even our HP is really low at 330. So we kind of got to work on that now. I think if we see the block and the armor, we're going to start taking them. We can also start seeing a little bit of frame drops happening over here, but it could just be because I'm recording at the same time as playing. It could also just be because of skill chain. What we could do is even lower the visuals a little bit more. Actually, in this update, there was another, you know, little quality of life that was added. So if you see the skills like Earthquake, they leave those blue rings. If we turn visuals right off, those blue rings have actually been gotten rid of now when you get rid of them. So originally, when you had the visuals all the way to 0, those blue circles used to stay on the floor and still used to impede on your vision, where now they are completely gone. And as you can see, it actually makes a huge difference not having to see it all. So, you know, when you get to this high cycle, especially when you are, you know, you take damage from some sources, you do want to get rid of your visibility of skills, and you start doing things like this and you just completely destroy everything. You're more worried about just staying out of the negative effect zones. We can take damage, so we're not really scared about, oops, we can't take damage. But we just lost a life. Don't do that at home, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, we can go for more cast frequency. Again, we want to try and get to the 0.2% for 0.2 seconds for all of our skills. A nice potency upgrade over there. We do need the finesse to bulwark, the bulwark to aptitude as well. Those ones were not fully stacked. And even though we have so much haste, you can just move that ever bit so slightly, just to make sure that the movement speed isn't too much to handle. I do want to just keep moving so we don't, you know, get one hit again. Very unfortunate, but there we go. Overlord 13 at 27 minutes. Really, really good. Grab the multicast chance and just keep going over here. Again, 13 was my highest previously with the Barbarian, and it took me like 40 minutes to get there, where now we at about 27 minutes and we at that same space. So it was more the build. I could have done this build on the Barbarian as well, but the you know, having a new character and the artifact power and everything like that definitely does help. So it's always fun to do it on different characters as well. It's also good to not see, you know, having to use something like the Earth Shield for the healing. It's nice to see that there are other ways to get the healing. Oh, man, I just don't have enough block power on the build yet. So that was unfortunate. I just bad RNG. There's nothing really you can do about it. Some of them are going to be like this, where you're able to kill things. I mean, we are killing things a lot faster than I was earlier, previously when I did this build. So at least I've got more damage, but we don't have the defensive capabilities that I had previously. There's a nice armor upgrade, so that should help quite a bit. Armor just reduces the damage you take, where block reduces all damage to 0 because you block the attack. A lot of area of effects over here that we need to just be careful of. Again, like I mentioned, it is one of the biggest problems of the build, but because we got quite a lot of AoE on everything, we are happy to just run around like that. So there is another iteration of this build. I'll show it to you after the run has ended. That is the one that I used to get to Overlord 14, and it does free up a versatility slot for you so that you can run reroll mastery or you can run endless refill using it. It might actually end up being better having that extra refill and so on and so forth. So we might look at doing this again on that one to see if we can hit Overlord 15 for the first time. I do know that Misa on the Discord has hit Overlord 15 using this exact build, so you know it is possible, but it just, again, really just RNG, and whether or not you're happy to sit on that 14th Overlord cycle, because sometimes it could take really long. In this case, it actually isn't taking as long as I thought. I thought it would be here for much longer, but 30 minutes to hit Overlord 14 or to finish Overlord cycle is actually very good. I hope we can finish it because, you know, we don't have any lives left. Alright, we are starting to see a little bit of frame drops over here. It's actually not frame drops, it's because we're moving so fast. It's a little bit of both, actually. I think we have too much skill chain. Ooh la la, that hurt a lot. Kill me. These are the last 4 bosses. Come on. Alright, there we go, we did it. So that's the end of Overlord 13. 31 minutes to reach it. Let's just see what we can get here. We really didn't get as much of the cast frequency that we wanted, 0.3, 0.3. I was going to be like, you know, we could get to 0.2 without Scent of Blood, but we never. Let's go on to the Overlord Cycle 14. It says it'll take us 4 minutes. We are going to try it because we are trying to reach Overlord Cycle 15. So, you know, new record, but whether or not we die, it's alright. Come on. This is technically a brand new record for me because originally when I did this, I just left at Overlord 14 as soon as we got there. We did die there, we got stuck on the enemies, and we were about to spawn the bosses. That was a really fun run. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Look at that insane damage coming from those skills. We got a whack ton of levels there as well. 3.7 million. So if you did play this build, you know, you could get your Myrmidon all the way up to nearly level 170 off a single, you know, gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.